Hello there guys, it's Captain Invisible here and welcome to turn number 9 of the custom campaign mod hot seat for Medieval 2 Total War. This is the Tyronian hot seat where we play as the Principality of the Amber Plains. So let us jump straight into this and see what we can do on this turn. So we have a candidate for adoption. This is let's look. Maxim Radoslavov. A lot of O's and V's at the end there. Russian names. So Maxim is this 24-year-old general. Quite a good command, 2 command to start with, but he's only 24, so he has a lot of developing to do. Quite good chivalry. He is loyal and he's got quite a bit of piety. He's good in command and he's popular, which is good. This is quite interesting. -1 morale to all troops on the battlefield, but he does give plus 15 movement points, which is interesting for moving armies about. That's going to be quite important considering our position. He's a promising commander, generally loyal, noble in battle, and he is religious. So we'll accept him. And looking at the balance of powers, or the end of turn report should I say as well, we have 2,425 to play with. Again, that's not going to take us very far, but there are some things I wanted to buy with that. Top in military is the Pyramids of all people, so that's quite interesting. Financially, we have the Holy Empire of the Sunrise Coast claiming the top position there. In production, we have the Valdokian Empire being top in production. Population is the Holy Empire of the Sunrise Coast, and that means that overall it is the Holy Empire of the Sunrise Coast. We will have a look at the statistics later on, because it's amazing what they've managed to achieve over the past few turns. We are, funnily enough, we're going down in financial and overall, which is not great, but we are going up in military and population, and we are staying where we are in production, so we're not doing too bad actually, considering our position. Again, there's just too much land between our settlements. The journey from the north to the south, it takes ages, so these 3 settlements are going to have to support each other, and then these 3 are going to have to support each other, so we're going to have to build according to that. But we do have all of our military south anyway, so we are in a position to use that. So that's going to be interesting. Our new general arrived here in DeWalt with Sibilaslav. This guy here. He doesn't actually have that much movement points actually compared to this guy. I wonder why. I wonder if this guy has spent trade income. I thought there would be something here that made this guy able to move a bit further, but it seems not. This guy plus 15% to movement points. Okay. Well, we'll use this guy to lead an army anyway, because this guy is going to be more for the tax benefit anyway, or the trade. 30%. Oh no, 30% penalty to all trade income. Ooh, yeah. You need to. I thought that was a benefit. Yeah, you need to get out of here right now. You definitely don't need to be a governor. That's gonna really ruin my day. But it allows me to actually plan a bit better now. So these 2 generals need to be spread out. I'm looking to take one of the north to Kel, because we're going to need to support the north now with a separate army to the south. so we can have a look at that. And we also need to spread our generals and our military around to get into a decent position. I'll show you what I mean. Actually, we'll move our spy over here, and as you can see, we've got the Mongols being fairly close to Istalo. Actually, a lot closer than I thought they were. I knew that they had a settlement round about here, but I didn't. I mean, I was discussing last time about this border and how there must have been a settlement round about here, but seeing it on the map now, these two settlements are actually really close to each other. And if I can push them both, I would have quite a nice position here to then move through these mountains with these two settlements being able to support each other. The only other Mongol settlement I believe is this castle over here. I don't know whether that's a standard Mongol settlement or whether that's one they've captured, but taking these two looks like it's going to be the top priority. It looks like Mongol forces are also heading this way. They're either going to sort of attack over here, there might be some rebel settlements over here. No, that looks like that looks Mongolian, that line. So I wonder if they're just reinforcing. Oh, they could just be coming up to try and attack Istalo. Either way, we do have our military here, which we're going to start to build up and navigate around. We are also going to probably attack from here. I can't decide whether I want to attack the castle first. I could do a two-pronged attack the castle here and attack with this army down here. I don't want to leave myself too vulnerable, hence why we've got all of these generals here. But I'll certainly be using the prince to attack probably over here. Yeah, I do want that castle, it has to be said. I could potentially attack Malika hard and fast and then move, and then split the army, move part down here and part over here. But I do need to start building my military up. So, with that said, we're going to start to build some stables over here. And get some Kazakhs from over there. And then I believe I wanted a small church here to be able to get priests out and priests to be able to convert these lands to our own religion. We're also going to get another ballista here, because if I am going to be taking the ballista down south, I'm going to need one to stay here just in case someone attacks Ithalo and I can retake it again with the ballista. My spy is already in these lands, so I am already in a position to get him into Malika. I'm not sure how easy that will be. I'm thinking about just building his spy skill up first and then deciding whether to get him into Malika and get an army down ASAP. Take me 2 turns to get all of my cavalry down, or just to wait and see. So for now, I want to move these guys out. We're going to move our infantry into the fort. As I say, I was planning on taking it over here, but actually, looking at this, it might be better for me to take my infantry and the ballista with the general and a couple of these horse archers down this way, and maybe take these 4 units over this way and see if I can capture something over here. I was planning on splitting my my infantry, but actually I think I'm gonna need them down here more than I am over here to this castle, because again, these two settlements are in such close proximity that if I attack them both, it's going to be more of a benefit to me than it is just attacking a random castle over here and not actually gaining anything from it. So that's what we'll do. We could have a look at, in fact we'll have a look at that over the next few turns, because I do want to use this guy in this fort instead, and I'm actually going to probably move my king. I was going to move it out of here, but actually he's in a... I quite like him in this fort actually, because he can move to Istalo or DeWalt as needed. So we could even position a fort there next turn. And then by the next turn we should be able to move straight up. I'm wondering if it might be worth building a fort there now actually. It depends what the AI has in here, I guess, because if they've not got any artillery, which I don't think the AI uses artillery really, I can afford to disband this ballista for now. In fact, that doesn't even give me enough for a fort. Never mind. Never mind. It's not going to work. But I do want to get these units moving ASAP, because the sooner I can, the better. I think we'll take it slow to start with, because I don't want to mess up, and I do definitely want some priests, because this land is going to be more Mongolian than it is our own religion, so we've got that to think about as well. So there is the Byzantines down here. I don't quite know how far down they are. I have a feeling they have a city probably around about here, where all of these fields are. Certainly a mine there, so the mine has to be quite close to where they are. So Mongolians are sending a diplomat over. In fact, what we could do is, this would be quite interesting, get our spy over this way, see if we can get into the castle using our spy, and getting these troops moving over to set up a fort somewhere around about here. I'm actually thinking ironically where this where that guy is. Oh, in fact, I'm an idiot. We can't set up a fort, can we? Oh well, we'll just position our guy here. In fact, I am looking to just, yeah, let's get rid of that. I need to be more aggressive. Right, won't let me build a fort. Why won't it let me build a fort? Oh well, we'll just leave him there. It's a bit exposed, but I don't think the Mongolians have the cavalry to be able to really attack us from there. If they do, then whatever, it's not a major issue. Well, if I've got rid of that, then it means I could probably afford to try and get my fort over here then. How far can... There at a maximum. Let's leave... Oh yeah, can't take all of my infantry, so we can actually take everything other than those two. So move this guy back next turn. Unless we just attack with the Grand Duke. I mean, I don't want to use him too much anymore because he is 54 and he's going to die shortly. But at the same time, he's a bloody good commander. And he's going to be able to allow us to really ruin some Mongolian lives. So yeah, that should just be a short jump there to probably a couple more turns. It might stop here and then a couple more turns, but we will be able to attack it on that turn because we do have the artillery to do that. Excellent. I'm really annoyed this guy can't get a fort, but we'll have to see how that develops. It's going to take us by a couple of turns to get there anyway, but it depends how they're fixed with having troops outside of the walls. That'd be quite interesting to see, actually. I did want to move this guy somewhere as well, but actually this guy's quite good in this position, because if I am going to be using Seblozov, if I'm going to be using this guy, I wish I picked a guy with a better name, or I could rename them, but yeah, if I'm going to be using this guy to attack down here, instead of the Grand Duke, then this guy's going to need to defend this area just in case any attacks come from over here or from the south. I mean, this army is currently moving over. I don't know why it's moving over. I'm hoping that this army will help distract it in case it thinks it's going to just go around this way and attack his Starlo. But just in case, I need some troops over here to be able to just quickly reinforce this area. Excellent. So our armies are starting to move out. We've got all of our things building that we need to. It's gone a little bit different to what my original turn was. There's a lot more army movements. I wasn't this aggressive in my practice, but to be honest, if I'm not going to be aggressive, there's no point me having troops at all. And I do have a lot of horse archers, which are an aggressive unit to have. They really don't do well in a defensive siege type environment, so I need to be aggressive and I need to move them forward, which is what we are going to do. In fact, thinking about this army, if this army doesn't move, I could actually lay siege with one of my horse archers, then use the rest of the cavalry. I don't think there's a river crossing here, unfortunately. Yeah, that's unfortunate, because I could be able to cut down here and sort of drive them back to settlement and then force draw them out, but yeah, it doesn't look like it's meant to be, which is fine. We'll just use our artillery to do that. Oh, also, before I forget, I've been meaning to do this for ages and I just haven't got round to it. So I was remembering my colours, and amber is not a colour of a healthy field. It's more a field that's currently on fire. So yeah, amber wasn't the best choice of colour. I just thought it sounded cool, and it does sound cool, but amber fields are ones that are currently on fire, which we don't want to be known as the people who burn their own fields. Although it would be quite good for a backstory of the fields burning. In fact, you know, I quite like the Amber Plains. I think I might mess with this story behind it as that it's what happened when the Mongols came, because we had to do a scorched earth policy against them. We basically burnt all of our fields to stop the Mongols from gaining any advantage, hence why they were called the Amber Plains, because they were all on fire at the time. That sounds really good. I'm glad I'm building on the story of our people. Really nice. So, and that's the point of this game. If you are going to create a faction, you need to just develop the story based on what what happens. As I say, we've managed to push the Mongols out of the Amber Plain, so we've managed to solidify it for ourselves. So it's quite a nice historical element to it. So as you can see, overall, the Holy Empire of the Sunrise Coast has shot up here, like they've just been on a hellish rampage or something. I understood the Valdokian Empire doing it because they have been improving all the time from turn 4, so they have been doing really well since turn 4. But the Holy Empire of the Sunrise Coast wasn't really doing that well until about turn 6, and then they sort of started increasing, and now they've just shot up. So they've done something weird in the past few turns. Spain is leveling out. The Spanish Inquisition lost a tiny bit and has sort of leveled out since then. And the rest of us are sort of vying for last, as it were. There's I think Scottish are just above us. We are in the middle, and the Venetians are slightly below us. But we're all fighting for bottom, as it were. Militarily, the Valdokian Empire has claimed the top position. The Venetians are just under them, and just under the Venetian Merchant Republic there is the Holy Empire of the Sunrise Coast. The Spanish have leveled out, and then I believe the Papal States have dipped down below the Scottish. So the Scottish Kingdom for Ralanad is down here with the Papal States. We are bottom last because, as I say, horse archers aren't considered very effective troops on the battlefield, I guess. But as you've seen, we've got troops to manage and troops to use, so we are not doing too terrible. Production, the Valdokian Empire has done something weird, some black magic to kick in such a massive production boost. So good on them for doing some production and calming down on the whole killing thing. The Holy Empire of the Sunrise Coast increasing a tiny bit. We, for some reason, are we are third, but we are third forever. We're kind of in this position of perpetual neutrality. There's no change in our position, just on the straight and narrow, no deviation. Looks like the Scottish Kingdom of Ralanad and the Spanish Inquisition just below us here, and then there's a bit of Venetian dodginess going on here with their production. I'm not sure how production is managed in Medieval 2, what it is based on. I thought it was based on the amount of gold you're gaining per turn. It's sort of the more gold you're producing per turn, the more your production is. But it could be building your things that you're building. I don't know. It's an interesting one anyway. Interesting to see how it develops. Territorial, we've got this mishmash of the various lines. The Valdokian Empire gained, looks like, a couple more settlements since we last saw them. The Holy Empire of the Sunrise Coast has had a bit of an increase here, up to 7. Then there is Scottish Kingdom of Ralanad, ourselves at 6. The Spanish Inquisition at 5, and then the Venetians at 4. It looks like the Papal States have actually gone up to 3 settlements, so that's quite good for them. But the real dominant power here is definitely the Valdokian Empire, really managing that. Financially, we've got definitely a lot of raping and pillaging going on here by the Empire of the Sunrise Coast. You're almost getting 16,000 florins there from whatever brutality they've been doing to the Aztec people. The Aztec people have large settlements, they have a lot of people in it, and so if you sack them, you take a lot of gold from them. So he's obviously done that to a couple of settlements there. The Valdokian Empire having a more manageable, but definitely an increase in their financial gains. And then the rest of us again are still fighting for last here. Both the Scottish Kingdom of Ralanad, ourselves, and the Spanish Inquisition all sort of vying over here with the Venetians in dead last. And then the, again, Holy Empire, the Sunrise Coast, blitzing through the population by taking one of those rich settlements. The Valdokian Empire taking 2 settlements, so gaining quite a lot of population from that. And then the rest of us are just managing with what settlements we have, just to increase what we need. We are 4th in terms of the human players, so we're not doing too bad. But yeah, there's a clear distinct difference between the Holy Empire, the Sunrise Coast, and the Valdokian Empire, and then the rest of us, with the Spanish Inquisition being sort of slightly more dominant than the rest of us. But definitely the Scottish Kingdom of Ralanad, ourselves, and the Venetians are lagging behind. Again, it might just be due to the positioning. It might be a slower start for a lot of people, and certainly the distance between our settlements is becoming a pain in the arse. But if we utilise our southern borders a lot more, these 3 settlements here, we can have this as sort of a secluded push, the front line, and these settlements over here just being the money makers. Kel's a bit of an unusual one. I would like to build some troops just because you've got the Valdokian Empire being able to gain purchase up here. You've got the English. I think the English are actually over here, so they're actually quite far away from us. But there is this space that I don't know what's going on over here. But certainly, I think I'll gain some map information or something from the Valdokians just to see what's going on. I know they've definitely reached up over here because you can see the faint line now where our blue meets the purple of the Valdokians, so they are definitely up here somewhere. I don't think they've gained purchase over here because it still looks Mongolian as far as that's concerned. But we'll see how they improve on that. Speaking of the Mongols, let's do neighbouring. I wish I could see the Mongols a bit better. I just want to see. Yes, they did gain a settlement on turn 7, so I wonder if that castle was the settlement that they took, and then they've got. It looks like they've got 2 settlements here. It looks like there's a rebel settlement actually below them, so it must be these 2 settlements, and then. Where's their 4th? Interesting. I can only see these 2 anyway. There's definitely a castle here at Tannic. They have Malika and Ronco, but I need to know what they've got other than that. Whether they've got a settlement over here, or whether they are literally these 2, this castle, and then something over here. I don't know, but they just have 4 settlements to go on there. As soon as I'm able to, I'll get some more cavalry from Tivador, because if I'm just going to march this army now to this castle, I need to know what I'm going to be able to deal with. Because I'm pretty sure this army and any reinforcements of these 2 should be able to take Malika. Definitely need some support for here though. I'm thinking that I probably won't need all of these cavalry actually. A couple of horse archers. A couple of spearmen and archers. Yeah, I might be able to manage as I am. Just leave a few horse archers just in case this army decides it's going to be a dick and move on Istalo. I need some support for that settlement. Diplomacy, I don't think anything has been going on too weird. We've got an alliance between England and the Holy Empire of the Sunrise Coast, an alliance between the Disciples of Tyrone and the Republic of Venice. Similar alliances are going on there. Yeah, nothing too extreme or exciting or different. Everything's all the diplomacy is pretty much the same for now. Again, the distance between everyone is becoming a pain. No one's going to be able to contact each other except your neighbours, and your neighbours are probably going to be the ones that you want to kill. Only in this game, that's not advice for real life at all. Although some neighbours can be worse than others. We are going to be making 2,384 next turn, so definitely some to play with there. And yeah, just a case of pushing forward, building up, and seeing what we can do. Hopefully the Mongols won't take this army and decide to try and kill it. Although, as I say, I don't think they're going to be in range, because as you can see, with infantry, my army can only march up to this point. So I don't think that there's going to be a threat of enemy cavalry coming that way and trying to disrupt us there. I think it was by this actually, the fur. So we'll see where this settlement is again, and see if we can lay siege. Hopefully, as I say, use our spy to gain entrance for our troops and go from there. A nice quick victory is what we need against these Mongols. As I say, if we can take that and then take these two, we should be able to cripple the Mongols and have some nice beachheads to sort of block off the Danish, and sort of move down this way and see what we can do in terms of these mountains. I want to use these mountains as a blockade, so we can block these mountains, although I do want to travel down this river and see if we can, sort of, again, block off the Venetians and take on some of the Moorish troops down here. So that should be everything. Don't think there's anything going on, and we've done all of what we can. So again, next turn's just going to be more building. 2 turns for our castle to finish, and we are sort of starting to get some cavalry stables up and running. We're going to need more infantry down south as well, so I'm hoping to get some buildings like Town Watch and other buildings like that going, so that we do have infantry available, because so far we are just building a lot of cavalry buildings to get those boyar sons up and running. Okay, so we'll end the turn, and we shall save the game for turn 9. Praise him. Excellent, so that was turn number 9 of the Tyronian hot seat as the Principality of the Amber Plains. Check out the other players' turns for their turn number 9s, see what sneaky stuff they're getting on with, and I shall see you all in turn number 10, an incredible milestone, which we probably won't be doing much on turn 10, but it will be setting up a lot of sneakiness for the following turns. Turn 11, 12 and 13 should prove to be a lot more exciting. So thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you all in the next video.